Hey, look who I found. It's Medic Magic. Magic, magic. Welcome back and thanks for being here. My name is Scott. How did you like that intro? Some of you may be disappointed to learn that Russell and I did not do a collaboration video, so that's all that you're going to see of him on my channel. We had arranged to meet, I want to say about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He had commented on an Instagram post. I think it was about my trailer. He thought it was pretty cool, and I had been making some plans to take a northern route home from California, and that northern route was going to bring me right through his area near Pittsburgh. And so I said, hey, how would you like to see it in person? So we made arrangements to meet. We agreed to not really shoot a video. I had told him that I am not an interview video type of person, but if he wanted to do something, because he's kind of a blogger, a lot of his styles of videos are blogger style, much like Last Human's Garage. When I met with Last Human's Garage, he specifically asked if he could record my visit to him to flash his Helix module, and I encouraged him to and told him he could do whatever he wanted. And then that turned out to be a collaboration, but it was mostly driven by him because of his vlogging style of video. What I had told Medic Magic was if he wanted to do that, he was welcome to. I was certainly open to anything he wanted to do, but he's also, he likes to record what he does in his shop and some of the things he's doing with his car, but I don't think he's much of an interview type person either, and that's okay. So we agreed just to get together and talk, eat, have a little fun, and that's about what we did. Russell no longer has his GTI, which I think it might have been a little bit of a disappointment to GTI owners, but he does still have a wealth of information on his channel. So even if his later videos don't appeal to you, go check out his channel. I'll put a link up here, Medic Magic, and check out his GTI videos. They might be very helpful for you from a Mark 7 perspective. My drive in the morning was very quiet and pleasant, and I wound up, instead of taking interstates that would run me through Washington, D.C., I decided I wanted to avoid all of that stuff. And so I took some side roads, 2-lane highways, and wound up driving through the mountains and through George Washington National Forest, and that was a pretty cool drive. I didn't take any photos or anything. I did capture a little bit of video. I'll share it here for you. And at this point, I think I mentioned this on my last series, I've got a little case of barn door fever. I am ready to be home. I am 70 miles from my driveway. I have plenty of fuel. I could probably stand to not eat until after I get home. I might make one more rest stop, and that's it. I'm ready to get home. So I haven't been taking photos. I'm not planning to stop and shoot anything interesting. My last several days have been somewhat boring, so I'm not sure what my most recent videos look like, and I'm not going to shoot a separate wrap-up video. Instead, I will give you the wrap-up right now. So I can give you all the stats. I just recently stopped for fuel, and at that point I had 7,588 miles on my trip. By the time I get home, it will be 7,668 miles. At this point where I just filled up, I have burned overall through the whole trip 349 gallons, which sounds like a lot, but stick with me. When you do the math, the overall fuel economy has been 21.7 miles per gallon. I'm not sure how that compares with the previous trip out to California. I think it's pretty similar. It might be just a hair better. I'll let you know. My best fuel economy on the trip was 26.3 miles per gallon. That's the same as it was the last time I told you about it when I first got to California. My worst tank, I did get one more tank that was worse than what I had previously reported. 15.6 miles per gallon. It was terrible. And that was when I left St. George, Utah. And as soon as I got on the road, it was immediately into a 50-mile climb from out of that, well, I can't really call it a valley, but I did climb up into the mountains and go over a mountain pass. And so it was just a long climb. The speed limit was 80, and I was not doing 80 miles an hour. I think I might have been doing 75. I would not do 80. The tires on my trailer are speed rated to 81 miles an hour. So they are the limitation to how fast I will drive with the trailer. Believe it or not, it's not the car at all. The car, I can probably drive 130 miles an hour with the trailer behind me. With the car's got plenty of power. It's the trailer that is the setback.
Keep right at the fork to stay on I-64. Follow signs for Norfolk.
The car's performance has been flawless. It is completely redeemed compared to the previous trip. As I reported on my trip wrap up from the last time, the fact that I had an injector failure was just completely coincidence that it happened while I was on a road trip and while I was pulling a trailer. I have not had a single hiccup on this entire trip, unless you count maybe a couple of tire sensor readings, and both times they were out of the right rear, and I didn't need to adjust tire pressure. I just had to reset the settings in the car. I think both times it happened right after I had done a massive change in altitude and or temperature, and so the tires might have just been a little uneven, but still within a pound of each other. This time today I didn't even equalize it. I just reset it, and I'll check everything in the morning when the tire pressures are cold and there's no sun shining on anything, and I can look at everything consistently. But anyway, the car has been perfect. Whenever I need to drop into the fourth and get on it, I would do it without hesitation, and the car just, it didn't blast off like usual because it's got 1,400 pounds behind it, but it took off and made an aggressive pass whenever it needed to, and then I would put it right back into fifth gear if the speed limit was over 65, and if the speed limit was below 65, I left it in fourth and just cruised nice and easy at that speed. I mentioned in an earlier video that I kind of miss not having the wife here. Obviously, having her here is great for conversation, and she helps me eat a little bit better. Wives can typically tend to compel you to want to live a little longer. They want you to stick around. Mine does anyway. I guess she likes me, and so she might say, hey, you shouldn't eat that, and so I don't eat some of the things that I might eat when she's not around. So when she's here, wifey makes sure that I eat well. When she's not here, then grandma looks out for me, and I eat with grandma sometimes, and that's just the way my rides go. I ate way too much junk on the way out to California, but on the way back I've been doing a little better. I suspect that I've put on 10 pounds during the trip, hopefully not 15. I will put a little note up here to say how much weight I actually gained on the trip. Hopefully it was just 10. I had mentioned to Russell yesterday that I got down to 180 when I was on last year's diet, and 180 was just a little bit too light for me, in my opinion. I felt too slender, and 190 I think is good for me. I'm a little over 6 feet tall. 190 works, and if I weigh 210, I can get down below 200 in probably about 2 weeks, maybe 3 of ordinary eating. And if I stay with healthy eating, not diet eating, but healthy eating, I can probably get down to 190 in a couple of months. And so I'll do that. Now, I don't remember if I said this in the video where my wife had joined me, but when we unpacked all that stuff from California on the last trip, a lot of that stuff is still in the garage because it's not things that we would use every day. It's just keepsakes and stuff that we brought home from Mom's place. This stuff, I guess it is keepsakes, but it's also stuff that is usable things. And I made it pretty clear, this is not going in the garage. I am going to back the trailer right up to the front door, and we're unloading right into the living room. This stuff will not go into the garage. Find a home for it and get it placed. Otherwise, it's getting tossed. And I think we have homes for all of this stuff, but yeah, that's the way I'm trying to. I'm in an age, I'm not terribly old, I'm only 53, but I'm already feeling compelled to downsize and get rid of some of my excess stuff. And so I was not necessarily thrilled to take on more possessions, but I still think we can find homes and usefulness for the stuff that's here. So I will call that a wrap. That is the trip in a nutshell. Shout out to Russell. Again, thanks for having me over, and thanks for lunch. It was a pleasure to meet you. And a special thanks to everybody who has stuck around this long in the series if you watched it. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next time. Take care. Just a quick note, I'm home and unpacked. It's good to be home, good to be unpacked. The interior of the trailer, as suspected, is trashed and all buffed up. I'm going to try to clean it out. I'll share a separate video about that. I wanted to share a quick video of Russell and I making the intro, and it plays into why we didn't do a long form interview or anything like that. We both acknowledge that our videos are full of edits. We flub up our lines and miss our points and everything else. And this was no exception. What my intro was, maybe 5 seconds? And it took us 3 times to get it right. In this particular clip, I didn't make any speaking errors, but I only had 1 sentence. But I guarantee you that if we had been doing a longer video talking back and forth, there would have been lots of messing up, lots of editing. And I just don't think either of us were up for it. So here, check this out as I go. Take care. And I think that'll turn out all right.
All right. Can I just pop in?
Yeah. Hey, look who I found. Okay, let's try that again.
Does this need to be plugged in or no?
No, I could leave that unplugged.
Okay,
otherwise, this will be disconnected.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Hey, look who I found. It's Medic Magic.
All right, you gotta point it down some. Medic Magic. Magic.
It's actually shooting a lot more than it looks.
Is it?
Yeah, it captures a lot more.
Well, people know I'm ridiculous, so it's fine.
All right, let's do one more take. Let's see what happens. Hey, look who I found. It's Medic Magic.
Magic.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.